discovered a fresh corpse. He woke up and found a deep chasm below, and the boy began to loudly call for his father.
Oh dear.
He remembered coming hunting with his father, never expecting to encounter a crazed yak. That yak charged at him madly until he fell off the cliff. He was lucky to grab onto a rock, but the rock quickly shattered, and he fell into the abyss again. At this moment, he knew his father had gone far away, yet he did not give up. He began trying to climb down, grabbing onto the crevices in the rocks with difficulty. Now it's really over. There's nothing supporting his feet. At this moment, the sky is overcast, as if even the heavens are worrying for him. A strong desire to survive keeps him holding on tightly. He looks down and sees the rainwater has filled the top of the cliff. He realizes this might be his only chance to survive. He begins to try jumping down, but it's really too high. Yet he knows if he doesn't jump, the only thing waiting for him is death. Finally, he musters the courage and takes the... Then he found a stick to support his ankle. Moments later, the boy began his journey. He walked a long way and finally reached the top of the cliff. At the edge of the cliff, he discovered a tombstone his father had erected for him. It turns out his father was the leader of the tribe, and that day, after he fell off the cliff, everyone thought he was dead, except his father, who called for him at the edge of the cliff for a whole night. Suddenly, a wolf's howl entered his ears. He saw in the distance a pack of wild wolves approaching. He hobbled in the opposite direction, but the wolves were too fast and quickly caught up to him. He tried to climb a tree, but one wolf bit him from behind. In a critical moment, the boy drew his dagger and stabbed the vicious wolf hard, finally freeing himself and climbing up to the treetop. However, the wolves below were still unwilling to leave, howling at the full moon under the moonlight, a scene that was both captivating and... However, he heard the grey wolf making a whimpering plea. Full appearance, he related it to his own abandonment by the tribe. In the end, the boy couldn't bring himself to do it. He tied it up with a rope. Then he took him to the river to clean his wound. At that moment, the boy noticed several wolves appearing on the hillside. It turned out that his companion had not gone far. He found a hidden cave, threw the grey wolf aside, and then collapsed on the ground. However, the boy was not afraid. Instead, he picked up a bowl of water and slowly approached. Seeing that the boy meant no harm, the grey wolf immediately let down its guard and drank the clear water from the bowl in big gulps. The boy also found some unknown piglets. Although he himself did not have enough to eat, he still shared half with the grey wolf to satisfy its hunger. But this small amount of food was far from enough to solve the problem. So the next day, he went out hunting and luckily found a rabbit on the grassland. He raised a stone and struck it down. This was the first prey he'd ever caught in his life. Back in the cave, the boy imitated the act of drilling wood to get bone. After an entire day's effort, he finally got to eat the delicious roasted rabbit, which made the grey wolf beside him drool. While staring intently at him, the boy told him that if he wanted to eat meat, he would have to behave. One day, just as dusk fell, the grey wolf lowered his head like a dog. Seeing it behave so obediently, he threw it a bone to eat. The next day, Nanhai even they traveled while hunting along the way. With Alpha's help, Blue no longer worried about food or drink. At night, they huddled together. Alpha rushed forward without hesitation. The boy nervously held the spear, ready to. Unexpectedly, he was knocked away by the wild boar, watching the prey escape. Despite this, Alpha remained loyal and increasingly resembled a real dog. Unbeknownst to him, the boy had become inseparable from Alpha. Little did he know that the day of parting would come with a harsh winter. One night, as they were resting, a large black wolf slowly approached, and the boy nervously picked up his weapon in preparation. Alpha nodded at him, and then said insincerely, finally decided to return to the wolf pack. In the following days, without Alpha's company, Manhai felt restless and uneasy. While traveling, he was so distracted that he didn't notice the ice had cracked and eventually fell into the icy cold lake.